Do I know how to code? Yeah, no, not at all.
Like, what made you want to join Dreams into Apps?
Wanted to find something where I could get taught. What really attracted me to this was consistent one-on-one sessions. Light bulb came off when I actually spoke to Sandro. I think for me, launching it really did a lot of things.
Diego, thanks so much for taking the time to do this interview. Congratulations on launching your app Platypus to the App Store. You are one of our launches from March, and I'm super excited to get on this interview with you, talk to you more about like what made you come up with the idea for Platypus, what your vision is for Platypus, and
Yeah,
yeah, talk about your journey building your app inside of Dreams into Apps and where you want to take it from here. So,
yeah,
without further ado, I'd love for you to introduce yourself, Diego.
yeah. So I come from New Jersey, northern part of New Jersey. Lived here all my life. Um, I would say I'm a devoted Christian, and it kind of goes into why I created the app. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. My skill is UX design, UI design. Building apps, not building apps like the whole way, but designing and designing websites, designing apps. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. So you're a UI UX designer by profession. That's like what you do full time.
Well, so 2 years ago, what I was doing 3 years ago, I first started out graphic designing, and then I wanted to search for something more prominent and more valuable. So I went with UX design. So I first joined a boot camp, and then after that, I took on projects, and then I started getting clients from that. So I have been doing freelancing here and there, and when I started looking for 9 to 5s, it's cool because like when you go out there and you apply, you just see how many ideas are out there, or cool ideas. To certain companies have their own ideas, and for me, I've always been I've been very creative, and I just wanted to see some ideas come to fruition. So I always had this type of entrepreneur mindset that I wanted to get something out there into the world. I like design a lot, so uh, you know, I had ideas of creating a clothing brand, and some other ideas along the way, and yeah,
Nice, man.
yeah,
So tell me what is Platypus and what problem are you solving with your app Platypus?
yeah. So a little bit more about Platypus. Platypus is a platform where you can find churches and communities. So if you're a young person that is struggling to find a church or community, I want it so that you can find a community group or a church to plug yourself into. So yeah. What was your other question?
What problem does it solve?
Oh, what problem does it solve? Okay, so like here's the thing. It kind of solves problems for different users, because for this platform we have three types of users. So the first user would be, let's say, the one managing a church page, so a church leader, right? So like for them, the problem for them might be different from, let's say, a group leader. So with a church leader, I mean, what they often do is they try to do church outreach. They try to get more people onto their church, or just build their church reputation. So, with Platypus, it could solve that problem, where, their main avenue is Instagram ads. So with Platypus, you could pay for a spot, to be on the algorithm. So, that's a problem that we solve for churches. For group leaders, and these are the people that I've have most contact with, is young adult leaders that manage their groups, and they have like, ranging from 20 people to 100 people, you know, large groups. So, and I hear that, they struggle with different problems. And the main problem that I see is that they have a hard time keeping track of people. They have a hard time of knowing who's coming in, and where is that person on with their journey. Because a lot of people, they go to church or community groups, and they might go there for different reasons. They might go there to find a group where they could have a Bible study, learn more, or maybe they're new, they're kind of exploring. So people go to church for, or community groups for, different things, to build relationships, uh, deeper relationships, and sometimes they don't get that from other churches. So that's why, like with Platypus, we want to make it so that you have a variety of options, and you're just not stuck to one church or community group that might not necessarily give you what you're looking for. So I kind
Wow.
of, yeah. So with that, the group leaders, knowing more about who's coming in, and coordinating meetings. Often they use either GroupMe or WhatsApp. And the thing with Platypus is that we're solving problems that are specific for them. And most church groups, they're on WhatsApp and GroupMe, but these platforms, they don't necessarily are solving problems for this particular user. So that's where
Mhm.
we come in and say, hey, what are your struggles with managing a group? And I get different answers. I take what's most valuable, and I say, okay, that could solve a problem. And if it's really valuable, like, people are willing to pay for it, whether it's a premium feature, whether it's something that's very valuable. And you can only know that by actually talking to them and seeing like what they are struggling with. So yeah, it solves different problems for users. I kind of went over it a little bit, but it's if they're not necessarily getting something out of a community group or church, we want for them to have options. So
Yeah, no, that's super cool.
yeah,
So, did you come up with this idea from a problem that like you had, in like specifically? Like, how did you come up with this idea?
yeah, that was a problem for me, and it was also a problem for my friends or some other people that I have in contact with, where I see, oh, like, maybe they have a bad experience, or maybe like they're trying to find more authentic relationships, and sometimes like the group is not able to meet that need, to build those relationships. And maybe at another community group they can give that. Or let's say if they're wanting to go, let's say, deeper into the Bible, or have questions answered, and maybe that is not met, then there's other groups that are willing to fulfill that need. So yeah, it would come from me, from other people that I actually have a friend that's going through that right now, where like they want to find other community groups, because there's a certain need that this person wants. So yeah, I think about them. I also think about how there's a certain competitor, but not really as specific as like my organization is, where
Mhm.
yes, you go to a website, you sign up, and they'll send you a text message saying, hey, here's a church. But even with that, like, um, there's certain problems that are not addressed. And yeah, the thing with that is that uh, what you call it, so these certain churches don't meet that need. But yeah,
No, that's cool. No, really, really cool. I think like the best apps and like the coolest thing about, being able to build apps yourself is that you're able to have this problem that you have, build a solution for it, and the hypothesis is that there are more people just like you out there who might have the same
yeah,
problem, and your goal is to scale it up to them. Um,
yeah,
nice. I guess like so you had this problem, you knew that there was a need for it. Like you are a UI UX designer, but
yeah.
do you know how to code?
Do I know how to code? Yeah, that's no, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so with UX UI design, it's concentrating on the users. It's concentrating on what they want and also what the business wants. And we try to create a product that can solve problems. And yeah, there's also the user interface design that goes along with it. And with that, it's you have a design and then you just hand it off to the developer. And
Yeah.
whatever, I mean, yeah, we stay in contact with the developer, but the developers world, that's their world. For me, I wouldn't be able to know like the intricacies that goes along with it. So yeah, it's just handing it off. So yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
really say like I would know how to code at all, but yeah.
No, that's cool. But you now do low key, like now you know how to build an app. Like you
Hmm.
were a UI UX designer, you came to the program with your UI UX designs, and now you
Yeah,
built this whole full stack application,
yeah,
like Flutter front end, Firebase back end. Um, you learned probably a bit of build chip, API integration. Like
yeah,
you've learned like the entire stack.
yeah.
So like, even though you don't know how to code, do you feel like now you know how to build apps?
Yeah, of course, of course. Like I feel like even now, I mean, with my app as let's say UX UI designer, it's very helpful for me because now it's not like, hey, I'm on Figma, and no, like when you're on Flutterflow, you could actually get other developers that have more years of experience and they could build out more intricate features. But as a UX designer, it's so helpful because you have a visualization of what's going on. And yeah, it just helps me work really fast. And yeah, I would definitely say like now, like I could pump out features like that. Just come up with the design, the front end development and all that stuff. It's like, I know what's going on, so I'm able to work more faster now. Hmm.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. So yeah, like let's talk about Dreams into Apps a bit. Like you didn't know how to code, you had this idea. Like what made you want to join Dreams into Apps?
Yeah, so that's that was so I'll say what I did before, what I kind of was doing. So yeah, I came up with the idea of Platypus, and then I looked into some no code tools. And at first I wanted to kind of teach myself how to do it, and look through online videos and how to do that stuff. uh so I learned a little bit on the UI side, but I knew that like digging through information, like it would just be better if I would have mentorship and have some questions answered where you're just constantly looking for answers and how to build some things. So
Yeah.
that's where I wanted to find something. I wanted to find something where I could get taught how to really get taught how to build this app. So I think I found Ambitious Labs. I think it was either through a YouTube video or I think I was just googling. But yeah, eventually I found the program, and it was very intriguing. I felt like there was really not a program out there that could help me or teach me how to use Flutterflow. So that's where I wanted to learn a little bit more, and that's where I got on a call with you, and yeah, we just kicked off from there.
Nice. No, that's cool. Were you skeptical at all when you first joined Dreams into Apps? Like, what was going through your head? Like, honestly, like, um, did you really think that we could teach you how to build apps? Like, what was going through your head?
Uh, when I first, I think, I went to the website and, you know, I kind of saw like, what you guys were doing and such things. But as far as skeptical, um, I mean, I think I would want to see what goes on. And, I think, what really attracted me to this, was like the one-on-one sessions. And that's
Mm.
something that I wouldn't have gotten, and that would be very hard to find. So, the consistent one-on-one sessions, that really appealed to me. So, if there were people that were experienced with Flutterflow, that really stood out to me. And yeah, as far as skepticism, I mean, like, I'm just being honest, not really. If there was any doubts, I would just have to see if, like, if it lived up to what you guys were promising, and how you
Yeah.
guys, the courses and the one-on-one
And
sessions and
you
all
kind of saw us like you joined when we were like right before we grew really quickly and hired the team. Like I think when you
that.
joined, it was me and probably one other coach, but now we have six coaches and Jaka and like the whole staff. So things have
Yeah,
changed a lot since you joined.
yeah.
I'm just curious. Did you ever get coached in Spanish? Like, did you ever get any help from Andreas or Sandro in Spanish?
Um, they speak Spanish, but for me, like, I just prefer to speak English. But
Mm.
if you want to speak in Spanish, like, it's cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
I was
mean,
just wondering.
no,
Sometimes I
it's
see it's really fun when I jump in and like somebody's chat and they're like talking in Spanish. I'm like, let's go, this is awesome.
yeah.
And then like Kamish will like be messaging somebody in Hindi or Urdu, and I just think that's so cool.
I
But no,
think
cool,
I think
man.
I think with the
Go ahead.
language part, I think you're able to relate more. I would say, like, the
Yeah,
culture and all that. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
for
definitely.
sure. And then I know you mentioned to me like on a coaching call that like the biggest thing that helped you was like chiseling down and focusing. I think you said you were working on too many different features. Can you tell me about like how we helped you with the structure or or like maybe what changed in your mindset when
Yeah.
you worked with us?
So it like everything changed. The light bulb came off when I actually spoke to Sandro. So I was building a lot of features, and I was eliminating a lot of features, but at the same time, it was like a little bit too much, because again, like, my platform has three types of users. So I have to build out things for every user. So that's where I got on the call with Sandro. And he I kind of presented him where I was at. And I just wanted to go back to the MVP. Like, what's your MVP? And that's where he said, hey, what you have now, it's more of a social platform, and it's gonna take more to finish this. I think you should go simplify it. And that's where it came from a social app to a church finder app. And that, for me, that was like when the light bulb flicked off, and I was like, okay, that's I think that's very smart. Just because the main thing is to really launch the product out there. I think for me, launching it, um, really did a lot of things, because as I'm launching it, I'm also trying to build up my board, and get people on board. And they want to see a product. Yes, like, I do have a website, but you know having a product out there really helps to, um, yeah, to see where it's at, and where you want to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I tell builders all the time, like once you launch and like you get your app into the world and you have something to show people, like it opens up so many doors that like you didn't even know would open.
Hmm.
Um, no, that's really cool, man. Sorry about that. And no, fantastic. And then I guess like what are your plans now? Like your app is in the store. What are your plans now? Where are you taking it?
Yeah, so I have well, there's a lot of work to do, obviously. For me right now, I'm doing outreach. I am trying to set up the organization, and as I've set up my board, people have really advised me on how to structure the organization, like what are my goals, the business plan, where am I going to take this, and also addressing the features that wasn't on the platform. And yeah, so I think my next steps is to finish the app, to raise funds, and I have people to help me with that. And yeah, so where I want to take it, the vision is to have as many churches and community groups on the platform. So I would definitely say, yeah, just get myself out there, whether that's through social media, wherever my users are, I need to go where they are. So that's really the next steps for me. It's just marketing, billing, keeping up with the product, and keep giving the user what they need, and yeah.
No, awesome, dude. I have your app pulled up right here. Do you mind if I show it?
Sure, sure.
Awesome. So cool. I have your app. Okay. Cool. So I have your app pulled up right here. The
Yeah,
coolest part about building with like Flutter and Flutterflow is that it's
yeah.
cross-platform, so you can ship for iOS, Android, and
Hmm.
you can even run it on Mac desktops. So I'll just like go through it if you want to walk me through and show me how to use
Yeah.
the app. And if I was your user, like what could I come do on Platypus?
Well, if right now you're on the get started screen, and you're there, you see two buttons. Obviously you're a new user, so you would just register and just go through the onboarding process.
Okay, cool. So I just created an account and I'm in.
Yep. So now you're in. You're kind of you know so like at the very top, I put a call to action, and that I put the main things, like what does the user want to do. So right now, since it's a church finder app, there's a button there, find a church, and then below that is like what to do. So yeah, so you just try to search for a location, and and yeah.
What location should I search? What would bring up some churches?
I mean, right now you could pull up New Jersey. Yeah. And then you would have to click the search bar and just enter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So you got some churches on here. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, okay, so I'll click on one of these churches. Like I'll say Hawthorne Gospel Church. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So I can see all the church's information.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah. So now you would just go over the information. You could click on the website. It'll go to the website, and it'll give information on what they believe, their groups, stuff like that. So you follow, and that should be saved on a tab. So if you just go back and you click the tab below, it'll just
Mm.
save that. So that
Oh,
that
cool.
would be the churches you follow. Yeah.
Very cool, dude. Very cool.
Hmm.
And I see that there's like a donate like button here. Is this part of your business model? Like, are you going to be having people donate to churches directly through the app as well?
Yeah. So the thing about this, as I'm going out there, and speaking to more people are getting on board. They've also like mentored me on creating more revenue streams. So that's where that also goes into my next steps, where eventually I'll have church memberships, because right now you have it where it's free to create a church page, and there's definitely a potential for a revenue stream there, where you can have church memberships pay for spots. So that's one revenue stream. When I
Mm.
eventually build out the feature where you can create a group chat, and within that group chat you could create events. that'll solve a problem for the users and for group leaders, and yeah, there's ways to monetize it. But yeah.
No, very cool. That's awesome, man. And it's really cool that you built that all, like, with little coding experience.
Hmm.
Now you're working on features. You have your Kanban board set up, I imagine. So you're probably adding more features there.
Yeah.
Um, Very cool. So
Yeah.
I guess, like, if anybody's watching this video, like, what do you need from them? Like, what's your next step as a founder? Are you looking for churches to onboard to the platform? Are you looking for investors? Like, what's the most important thing to you right now, Diego?
um I would say, well, I'm definitely looking for churches. I would definitely say yes, like I am looking for major investors or donors. So I'm definitely looking for that. Um, yeah, I think those would be the two major things that I'm looking for.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and I know I'm actually working on designing a new module for Dreams into Apps called, like, investors, accelerators, and incubators, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna have a lot of coursework in there on, like, raising money, investor founder fit, investor company fit,
Hmm.
and so those are all going to be really important things because churches is, particularly a space that falls under, like, nonprofits a lot,
Yeah.
and so those types of investors are going to be different.
Yeah.
There are plenty of investors out there. It's not that there isn't. There's plenty. You
Hmm.
just have to find the right ones because, like, a big dog like A16Z or like Sequoia or like a big brand name VC is probably not going to resonate with this as
Right.
much as, somebody from a family office or a philanthropical fund or something like that. So
Hmm.
I'm excited for your next step, man. That's going to be really, really cool. Awesome. And I guess, you know, the last two questions I'd ask you is, would you recommend Dreams into Apps to others who are trying to build apps, or would you not? Would love to hear your honest opinion there.
My honest opinion, I would definitely recommend it. I would recommend it to a UX designer, because the traditional route of coding would probably be a little bit more work, but with no code, with having that ability to see what's going on, and yeah, I would definitely recommend that to a UX designer. To people that have no experience, let's say with UX design or UI design, I think this course really can walk you through it on what you need to know, and the honest feedback. As a UX designer, you shouldn't expect to have something very advanced, but it's what you need to know, and you know your priority should be to launch an MVP, and that your MVP shouldn't be something so intricate anyway. So that's my
Exactly.
honest feedback. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic, Diego.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be in your journey going forward. After I get this interview up on YouTube, we're going to make an email blast that's going to go out to like
Hmm.
14,000 people. We'll have a link to your app there. I hope you have your Firebase analytics hooked up so that you can see that spike in traffic. I know
Yeah.
when we did it for Anthony, Anthony like came to Discord the next day. He's like, "Yo, like I see this big spike,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, I think that was us." And so I'm excited to do that for you too. So really appreciate you taking the time to do this, Diego. I look forward to being part of your growth, and yeah, man, good
Yeah.
luck with your journey.
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.